not so great at Barcelona right now in terms of the Dani Olmo situation. Obviously, you guys all know what's been going on. Sport have gone with the headline scandal, saying Barcelona didn't register him in time. With the situation regarding the registration of Dani Olmo still not being resolved, are we about to see something change, Alex? Are there any reports that this could be solved? What are we looking at right now?
As of today, Kay, Barcelona have been briefing to the media that they are confident, they are optimistic about getting Dani Olmo registered tomorrow, Friday. Now, how they plan to do that, we don't know, because as far as we can see, the rules, at least from the outside, are pretty clear. But they are saying they're optimistic, and let's see. Barca still haven't said anything officially about this on the record. No one's come out and spoken from Barcelona's side. The last thing we heard officially from La Liga was the statement on December the 31st saying that Barcelona hadn't presented them with any new evidence to be able to register Dani Olmo. And as far as we know, nothing has changed. Now, Barca, again, have been briefing to the media that they've got this deal in place to bring in some more money, which is from the sale of some of the VIP boxes that are still under construction Camp Nou, and that would enable them to get financially in a position to be able to register Dani Olmo. Barca are saying, at least off the record, that they presented the league with this information, but they just needed to sort of give them all the details in terms of the numbers and the how and the when and all of that paperwork. And then they are briefing, it might be signed off. Now, La Liga aren't confirming any of that at the moment. Like I say, all we know from La Liga side is that yesterday, on the 1st of January, Dani Olmo was no longer registered as a Barcelona player. And so here we are. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Of course, Hansi Flick's going to be speaking tomorrow in his pre-match press conference for Barca ahead of their Copa del Rey game on Saturday. So he'll be facing questions about this as well Friday lunchtime here in Spain if it's not resolved by then. It's a quite extraordinary saga. And we've almost become sort of desensitized to these things with Barca and the finances. But this really does feel like another level when you're talking about their star signing just 6 months ago, potentially not being able to play. In terms of Dani Olmo himself, think about how he's feeling about this as well. He's been keeping a low profile. He's been training. He and his people have been briefing, again, that he's not interested in leaving Barcelona because there is a clause in his contract that was put in for precisely this kind of eventuality that if he weren't registered, he would be able to exercise and leave. They are saying that he won't do that and that he would like to stay. But if that means staying and not playing for 6 months, we don't know. So let's see.
Well, you have just answered the next question for me on the Dani Olmo side of things. What to do if you're the player, if you're not registered and you know that you're not going to be playing for this whole what's left of the season? What would you do, Robbo, if you were him?
Your career is short. If you're, fully fit, if you get injuries, you're going to miss games. But if you're fully fit and you're going to miss 6 months of football, you can't be happy with that. How do you know? Where do you play? Do you play? How do you keep yourself in shape? How do you keep yourself fit? How do you keep yourself match fit? So that when you come back in 6 months' time, if they can register him, and then is he going to be the same player he was? I'm sure he would be, but it might take him a little while. Does he go for nothing? Does he go on a free transfer so he can negotiate somewhere else a massive contract? That's the next question. And if that was the case, he might think it's time that I do go, because Barcelona haven't shown me enough sort of respect that they get me signed and ready, registered for this second half of the season.
What would you do, Steve? Because it's such a weird situation. Had the injury not happened to Christensen, he might not have even been playing anyway.
It really depends on the character of the individual. And it sounds like Dani Olmo is a good guy. He's a loyal guy, and he's prepared to do the 6 months. Now, there are other players who I'm sure Rob was playing with a few who are pretty much mercenaries, and it's a lot about them. And if it's not about them, they're more than happy just to.
But if the club, have made a mess of it, they haven't shown you great loyalty, have they? Barcelona, they've made a real mess of this situation, and you've been the star signing, and you're not registered, so they're not treating you particularly well.
Would you have been loyal, Stevie? Given his history at Barcelona as well.
I'm a bit of a softie. I would probably have seen it out. I mean, I'm assuming he'll get paid. He'll still get paid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably do the 6 months. But as I said, I know plenty of players that would have said, "Not my fault. See you later. I'll take the dough."
It feels, Alex, as though that is the difference here, regardless of what's going to happen here, that Dani Olmo has wanted so badly to get back to Barcelona that it would feel that maybe he would just be happy. Well, not happy, but okay to sit those 6 months out.
Yeah, everything we hear tells us that he loves the club and this is where he wants to be. But two further complications, Kay, it's worth mentioning very quickly. One, our understanding is he can't go on loan because to go on loan, the rules state here in Spain, you have to be registered with the club first, and he currently is not registered with Barcelona, so they couldn't loan him out. And secondly, the rules also state that to play for Spain, to play for the national team, you have to be registered with a club. And right now he isn't. So it's not just his club career that's being affected by this potentially for 6 months. It's his international career as well. So yeah, a big decision if he were to decide to stick it out.
If you stick it out, what are you doing? Are you just continuing to train every day with your teammates to keep your fitness up?
Yes, the club would have his own. He'd probably nowadays employ his own fitness coach as well to go along with what the players are doing. But you need somehow to play matches. They'll probably play a lot of practice matches to get him involved. But yes, it's not an ideal situation. If you're a fully fit player and you're only just training 6 months in, how many times do you hear players, ex-players, players say, I need 3 or 4 games to get myself match fit? Well, he's going to be out for 6 months. The longer you're out, the more it takes you to get back fit again. It's not an ideal situation for any sort of player.
Because you can't really recreate a match and that sharpness that you need as a player.
Well, you don't. Well, here's the good thing. He doesn't need to be sharp because he's not playing. So he can wait till next pre-season and get himself 100% fit. I mean, you just go in, you train, you work hard. He looks like one of those guys again. Bit like me, I went in every day and I worked hard every single day, and I was at a certain level. I wouldn't have been at the level without the games, but he will get through his 6 months, and as I said, when pre-season starts and he starts playing games, he'll get back to normal. So it doesn't need to be sharp because he's not playing.
I wonder if his diet as a footballer was like yours back in the day, Steve.
I wouldn't think so.
I would suspect no. Anyway, thank you, Alex, so much for being with us. We'll be speaking to you again this weekend. No doubt we'll let you go and get some rest now.